talk about having a personal criteria for your business. I consider this to be step number one in setting up your business. We often go after all of the obvious tasks like setting up our website and figuring out what our business is going to be called, looking at possible business structures, networking, lead generation, figuring out the skills we think that we're going to need in order to serve our clients. And there's plenty more, I'm sure. But you see, when we take the time to create a personal criteria for our business, this means, how do we want the business to run? How do we not want the business to run? What do we want it to look like? What does success look like outside of just numbers on paper? A successful business, in my opinion, is not just one that makes you financially successful. Because if you make all the money that you want to, but then you are absolutely buried in your business, you're not enjoying it, it consumes your life, whether you're working or you're not, that's not really successful. So I always like to look at, when we're setting up a business, how do we create a business that in the end, it is successful, not only financially, but it's one that we love. It's one that gives us the freedom, the lifestyle that we want to have. So there's this beautiful, happy balance of both our home life, our life that we want to have outside of work, and our business that is working hard for us. It is serving clients and getting them results. So it is a win-win across the board. And one of the ways that I found to do this is by establishing a personal criteria. Now, for full transparency, I started my business without a personal criteria. And that's part of what didn't go well for me. When I first started, I just knew that I wanted to work for myself. I knew I didn't want to go out and get the 9-to-5 job. I didn't want to be consumed by that. And then I went for it. And that was the only criteria I had. Just let me out of that system there. However, as I started to progress, I started to pick up clients, revenue started to come in, I took a step back and I was like, well, this doesn't really look like what I had envisioned. Even though when I started, if you had asked me what that vision was, probably couldn't have told you. But I never took the time to establish that criteria. Now, here's why that makes sense to do. If you establish the personal criteria up front, this allows you to make so many decisions. You see, I hear all the time people saying, oh, I don't know whether to go this way, or I don't know whether to go that way, or if I should choose A, B, or C, what do I do? And if you have that personal criteria, you can say, well, which one of these is going to best match that personal criteria that I have set for my business? And then as you are gaining clients, as you are gaining revenue, income in your business, you're going to find that you enjoy your business even more because it is allowing you to enjoy your life even more. It's helping you progress towards where you really want to be, not just in business, but in life too. Now, a personal criteria for you or me or the next person or that person over there is going to look completely different. It should be unique to you. So you don't want to just take my criteria or someone else's criteria just so you have one. So you really want to give this some thought and think about, how do you want your business to look? What are the things that would make your business great to you? What are the things that just would frustrate you, that would make it no fun for you? And write those things down. So for instance, a personal criteria for me at this point is that I want to have no in-person meetings. And you may have seen my last video where I actually met with a client and I tell you why there. But my criteria is that I do not meet with clients in person. I don't want to do that. When I first started my business, I did meet with clients in person. So it is okay for your criteria to change over time. So what you establish for your business now may be different than your criteria 5 years from now. As your business grows, it changes, you grow, you change, and that is okay to come back and revisit and edit your criteria as you go. Now, if you are just getting started, hit pause, take a step back, and just start with this criteria. That's number one. And then that's going to help you make all the other decisions moving forward. If you're already a year, 2 years, 5 years, even more into your business, it is also okay to hit pause, take a step back and say, hey, what is my criteria? What if I just put my business and how it operates right now to the side? If I had my ideal business set up here, what would this look like? How would it look in my day-to-day life? How would this impact my personal life? and actually note down the things that you would like, the things that you wouldn't like. And then you can match that back to the business you have now. And that is going to help you with decisions on how you're going to shape your business moving forward. So some other things besides maybe no in-person meetings. There might be somebody else who absolutely thrives off of in-person meetings. So that should be, I want to be able to meet with my clients in person, and that's perfectly okay too. This could be you want to have a limited number of phone calls. This could be you thrive off of group settings, and so you want to make sure that anytime you are working with clients or that you're getting in front of clients, it's more in a group setting. Or maybe you're like, well, that's not really where I thrive, but I just rather get in there, get it done, and get out. This could be that you only want to work during certain hours and certain days of the week, which I think for everyone, even though it'll look different, that's a very important to establish because it is so easy to just keep working. And I notice when I get outside of the schedule that I set for myself and I just kind of overlook it, I will work significantly more, and I tend to start getting less and less done because I'm working too much. So actually shrinking the amount of time can really be helpful and be more productive in your work, because you're going to focus in on specifically what is the most important things that you need to do to make the most impact in your business. This could be about a team. You might decide that you just want to be a one-man or one-woman show, and you want to handle the lead generation, you want to take on the clients, you want to take on the projects, and just keep it small. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's other people who might decide, I love having a team, I love overseeing things, I want to grow to be able to have 15, 20 people on my team and really have a large scale business. And other people might want to be somewhere in the middle. Maybe I'm just going to have 2 or 3 people that help me with some tasks. I'm still going to be involved in different tasks, but I want to be there. So this is where you can decide, do you want to stay high level? Do you really want to be into the details of each client project? Again, there is no right or wrong answer. It's just what is it that is going to work for you. You can also establish the criteria of your ideal client. What would they look like? What would they not look like? So that way, when a client shows up in front of you, you can easily say, well, is this the type of client that I want because I've already written this down? Or is this the type of client that I don't want and goes against my criteria? And that's very important to have, because as we make decisions about who to work with, it keeps us away from the right clients because we're involved with the wrong clients if we're not careful. And then it makes us less happy and less productive in our work and doesn't help move us towards where we want to be. So you might decide that when you have a criteria that you really only have a short list of, these are the things that I want to set up in my business, this is the way I want it to look, and these are the couple of things that I know are absolute no's for me and I'm not going to be doing this, or this is not going to show up in my business. And those are going to be the rules that you live by moving forward until at some point in the future you decide that those no longer work for you, or that life has changed and you feel that that criteria you have set needs a change. If you already have some of your own personal criteria, I would love to hear that below. Or if this has given you some ideas, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Thank you so much for being here.